Perfect. Hey, Franco. So thank you so
Let's
much
do
for
it.
tuning in. Super excited to have you over here. This is our very first webinar in the very first episode with A/B testing.ai. Today, we're going to be talking about improving your website optimization conversion. CRO is one of the most important topics, but yet it's not spoken much because not many people know about it. And this is why this is especially very important if you're running any sort of performance marketing. If you buy traffic, you have to ensure that you optimize on the most critical elements, because if you would not do that, chances are that you're just burning money, right? So the other day I was talking about, I think I shared that how we just changed the color of the button using A/B testing. Right away we saw an improvement in conversion. We wouldn't know if we wouldn't test. And this is why you see that every time you would go to Amazon, if you shop from Amazon, you will see different stuff all the time, right? A different color, different font, because Amazon wants to ensure that if you have come on the website, you buy. That's the goal. That's the goal of every single website out there. Um, Techno is saying there is no sound. Am I audible? Am I very clearly audible?
I'm hearing you correctly.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So Franco, before we get started with the webinar, for people who don't know you, if you can just take a moment to introduce yourself, that would be fantastic.
Sure, sure. Thanks for that introduction. It was great. So yeah, my name is Franco Gobo, as you can see it on the screen. I'm from Uruguay. I'm a marketer. I have a bachelor's degree in communications, in advertising and marketing specifically. I have a lot of experience in agencies, and I dived into the CRO world because I saw on the agencies I was working on that they were focusing a lot on the side of Facebook ads, Google ads, and driving the traffic to the landing page or the website, but not doing all the other part of the work, which is conversion rate optimization on the site. Because it's as Udit is saying, it's like you can get as much traffic as you want to your site, but if you do not optimize it for conversions there, you are leaving money on the table basically, right? So, and it's pretty much overlooked in in the in the scene, because it seems that people seem that or understands that conversion rate optimization and A/B testing is a very difficult practice to make, all right? Because the tools we are seeing right now, like Google Optimizely, VWO, Unbounce, uh, you need a bit of understanding of what you're doing, and you will need time and also effort to do A/B testing. And that's why we created A/B testing AI, to make the A/B testing process something mainstream, that any marketer or person that is trying to uh, make their business work can like optimize their website for conversions. So every visitors and every penny they spend on ads counts. That's basically it. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Franco.
Cheers.
Before we get started, can we know a bit about the history of you guys, and what sort of previous softwares you guys have built and all those things? I think people will be really excited to know more about that before we again dive into the nitty gritty of the webinar and then dive into the product.
Sure. Myself, this is the first project I'm on. I'm 23 years old, so yeah, I'm pretty new to to this stuff, to being an entrepreneur and being on software. But the main developer, the head of development, Rodrigo, this guy has a lot of experience. Is very smart. Is a software and machine learning engineer with 10 plus years of experience in machine learning itself. He is the he's the responsible of developing Monkey Learn, which is a platform that's crashing right now. They have sold it today. He told me that they sold Monkey Learn for $17 million to to some investors. So yeah, he's a very smart guy. He knows what he's doing, and he knows a lot about artificial intelligence. And he was able to teach me a lot, and also make me very excited about what the future of marketing will be. Then on the team, we also have the front end developer, uh, a very, 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 very good designer called Ismael. We are all from Uruguay, all right? The company's in the US, but we're all from Uruguay. He also has a lot of experience in front-end development, and is also part of the Monkey Learn project. So yeah, that'll be the team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Franco, for that soft introduction. And man, like at the age of 23, you're killing it already, man. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna dive in, guys. And meanwhile, if anyone has any question, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments below. We're gonna dive into every single question. And at the same time, as you can see, we're doing this webinar along with you guys. So I will give you guys an opportunity at the end if you want to like come up and ask the questions directly to Franco or
Please.
me on a video call. Feel free to do that. This way, you also get an opportunity to introduce yourself to everyone. So again, we'll make it a nice, great sort of collaborative sort of a webinar. And if you guys like what you see today, we can definitely do a lot more webinars around conversion rate optimization. We'll dive into specific topics like Shopify, WooCommerce as well in the future. A lot of things can happen that can enable, because even if you just learn from these webinars, remember that you can start offering services. If you are an agency, you can start offering services, right? You can start selling such services. You can build checklists, you can sell them, you can productize CRO as a service at the same time. You can start selling. There's a lot of opportunities. And I always say one thing: keep running some sort of a side hustle, right? You can have all the projects in the world, but the most successful people in the world always run side hustles. Even Elon Musk is running two side hustles, right? So always run side hustles, because you never know what idea is going to take off when that would become scalable. So in this webinar, that's what we're going to talk about. It's going to be all about theory, and then we're going to dive into the product demo of A/B testing, because the first webinar that we always do with any founder is going to be a product webinar. So I'm Udit Goenka. I'm the founder and CEO of PitchGround. And Franco, the screen is all yours now.
Awesome. Could you enable me the sharing feature?
Oh yeah, sure. Just a moment.
Great. So let me see. Yeah. You are seeing the slideshow?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So website conversion rate optimization. Welcome, everyone. This is the topic I'm going to talk today. So Udit was great doing a little introduction for it. So yeah, because when trying to improve the performance of a digital campaign, everyone, even agencies, seems to get caught upon the ad side of things. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about my experience. There's one side that is like the side of driving the traffic to the website, but there's the other side that has been overlooked from many years, which is what do I do with the traffic when it gets to the site, right? So I'm going to talk about some simple tricks, some concepts you can apply right now to your site to improve the conversion rate on it, and see how the same campaigns you are running right now will get way better results than before, just because of these little tricks, right? First, I want to focus on defining what's website conversion rate optimization. But first, to define that, we need to go a bit back, which is going to understand what's website conversion, what's a website conversion, and what's also website conversion rate. All right. So a website conversion, an easy way of seeing it is to see it as a specific action that the owner of the website, let's say you, wants a user to take. All right. An action that we want a user to take. This definition is both specific and general for me. So let's take an example. Jennifer. All right. Jennifer is the owner of an online shoe store. Obviously, her objective will be to sell shoes. So every time a person buys a pair of shoes, she'll count that as a conversion. All right. So the conversion will be the action of purchasing a shoe. But let's say that Jennifer is thinking about launching a summer collection and wants to know if there are people interested in it. So she puts a big banner on her website and talks about the incoming summer collection. And also there on that banner asks the user to leave their email address, so they will be notified when the shoes are able to purchase. With this, she's getting leads, which leads is interested people. And she thinks that that's a metric that could really help her understand the demand for this summer collection, all right? So she will define the conversion as the action of leaving an email address, all right? So getting the lead. So where I'm trying to get here is that the action that you define as a conversion depends only and solely of the objective of your campaign or your website or your specific page, all right? That's a conversion, an action, the desired action you want to take, the user to take. Now, what's website conversion rate? It's pretty simple. Now we understand the concept of conversion. The website conversion rate, you can get it by dividing the number of conversions you got on a page by the number of visitors that page got, all right? So if you have 5 conversions out of 100 visitors, you have a 5% conversion rate. So now we get to website conversion rate optimization. You have both concepts down. You know what a conversion is, and what website conversion rate is. So conversion rate optimization is basically every action you can take on your site to improve the conversion rate of your website. It's pretty simple. It's also important to understand that conversion rate optimization is not only for your website. It's a practice also pretty common on other parts. For example, Facebook has a tool to an A/B testing tool, so you can improve conversions also on the ads, so you can get more clicks, the click-through rate. But there are plenty of opportunities to get conversion rate optimization. But what we have to understand here is that you have a lot of channels that all point to one place, to your website, all right? So which is the best place to do conversion rate optimization, if not your website, all right? Because all your traffic will get there eventually. Now, talking about conversion rate optimization, I like to divide it in two, all right? What is off-page conversion rate optimization and what is on-page conversion rate optimization, all right? Off-page conversion rate optimization has to do, is a layer that has to do with all the strategy that you use to send traffic to your site. We are not gonna dig very deep into this one because I'm better with the other one, but this is very important to take into account. So the focus here will always be to get the best traffic quality possible, meaning you need to focus on sending the people best aligned to your offer to your site, because they'll convert way better than low quality traffic. All right, and for this you need to define and study your target audience. You need to understand exactly which segment of the market is the one you want to tackle. Also understand what's the pain point, what's the value you give to them, all right? Also identify where you can find them, all right, which channel you can find them, and also understand what's the best way to approach them in terms both of strategy and format. So you gotta, the idea of this point of the off-page CRO is to understand really what you offer and how your target audience values it, all right? If you can understand and create and craft the correct message for it, you'll get as much traffic as possible to your site. So that's the idea of the off-page CRO, getting the best or the most amount of high quality traffic to your site. What about on-page CRO? Now we did everything we know to get the best quality traffic and the most amount of traffic out of that quality to our site. Now we gotta optimize our site to get as many conversions as possible from that traffic, right? Because every penny counts. One sec. So I've summed up the type of actions you can do on your site in 4 simple questions that you need to ask to know if your website is as optimized as possible. Does my site load fast enough? Is the content on my site relevant for my traffic? Am I tracking the behavior of my traffic? And Is my landing page copy as persuasive and effective as it could be? Those are the main 4 questions you gotta ask yourself to understand if you have an optimized website, an optimized page or not, right? So we're gonna dig into them. Does my site load fast enough? You know, site speed is king right now. A slow site is very annoying, right? And people tend to leave if they have to wait for a widescreen, you know? Sorry, a analytics company called Porten did some smart and interesting research on how loading speed affects conversion rate. For example, between 0 and 4 seconds load time is the best for your conversion rate. You personally, I want to have my landing pages between 0 and 3 seconds, but you can go to 4 seconds. Then something very interesting is that the first 5 seconds of page load time have the highest impact on your conversion rate. And website conversion rate optimization drops by an average of 4.42% with each additional second of load time between 0 and 5 seconds. All right. So you would want to make the fastest page you can get on the market. All right. Data speaks by itself. Imagine that you are doing a well thought, innovative, and really expensive marketing campaign to lose a stunning 4.42% of your conversion rate because your team didn't compress the images on your landing page properly. So you will want a very quick page speed, all right? And in order to check your page speed, there are a few tools that I'm gonna share with you on the chat, right? Which are great to analyze and know what to do with the problems related to your page speed, all right? Those are the tools. The first one, you can analyze your website and tell you what things to fix. And then you also have the other tool, the other link is a great tool to check how your landing page is working on mobile, because you gotta always think on mobile these days, all right? Then, is the content of my site relevant for my traffic? This is a very crucial point also. This might seem a little bit obvious, but being consistent with the user's interest is key. A good strategy for many businesses is to have more than one landing page, each one for one specific audience segment from that target we are sending ads to. All right, this is called having dedicated landing pages. For example, if you're offering a stay in a hotel, you could have a landing page with specific features for young couples where fun activities are recommended, like near pubs or cinemas. But you'd also want to have one landing page for big families that are looking for some social pool time and so on, because both are part of your target audience, but are different segments and are motivated by different things. All right. So it's important to have dedicated landing pages to all of your traffic. So that's basically this point. And then, am I tracking the behavior of my traffic? This is very important. Know what's happening on your site. Once they get to your site, what are they doing? Where are they getting stuck? Okay. So I recommend here 2 main tools. Some of you will already know what these tools do. All right, is Google Analytics and Full Story. All right, and Full Story. There you go. So Google Analytics is great to understand how different traffic sources of behave. You know, which are the pages that are more interesting to them, and what is the general customer journey. Right? I'd be impressed if you are not already using Google Analytics. Anyone in the chat, are you using Google Analytics? Please put an emote, for example, a fire, if you're using Google Analytics. Nice. There I have one.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone is using Google Analytics.
Yeah.
I think if you're not using Google Analytics, there's something wrong.
Something wrong with
Right?
your the company. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to add it because I know people will be aware of it. So yeah, full story is one we really use in our company. It's great to see. It gives you recordings of the sessions of the users on your site, and you can see exactly what's going on, where they are getting stuck, and things like that. So it's pretty cool for us, all right? And I really recommend it. Then, is my landing page copy as persuasive and effective as it could be? This is the last question, and it's the one that gives us space to talk about the tool. But yeah, let's talk about this a bit because this is the step I wanna really dig into. All right. Now, imagine that your website is getting hundreds of thousands of visitors that match your target audience. You know what we're talking about. But you see in your Google Analytics account that you opened recently that they get to your landing page, but the bounce rate skyrockets. All right, the bounce rate is the percentage of visitors that bounce quickly after arriving to your website. First, remember to check your site speed. Again, site speed is king, and it's very related to your bounce rate. But if site speed is looking good, probably there's an issue with the copy you created for the page. Uh, all right, and so what do you do about that? Give the copy a new look and wish for the best? Nah. You create different headlines, descriptions, and calls to action to split the traffic and measure which variation of your landing page performs the best. And that's called A/B testing, right? A/B testing is a type of experiment that you can run on your site, which consists of showing one or multiple variations of the same web page to your visitors, with the objective of determining which of the variations converts more. Remember the concept of conversion rate and conversions. You can test technically anything, but as there are some elements that could completely skyrocket the conversion rate if you test them, there are others that will be just a waste of time, all right? So which are the elements that you want to test when doing an A/B test? And anything inside the above default section. This is a term retrieved from the way newspapers were folded back in the day. It was the part that was visible without the need of opening it up, all right? In web design, it's kind of the same thing. Above the fold section is used to refer to the portion of a website that is visible without further scrolling, right? Below the fold being the things that are under when you scroll. This is the most important part of your landing page because it is the first impression a visitor gets. And the first impression, you need to give him a total understanding of what you do and how you add value by doing it and why you are different of your competitors, right? So in terms of structure, the above the fold section needs to have 4 main elements with a +5 that you can also add, something that you can test. The first one being the headline, which is the first thing people will read on your site. Here, you have to be able to define your value proposition in the best way possible, in as few words as possible. And you gotta remember that it's not about features here, but about benefits. Then you have the copy, that is the description that goes right under the headline and needs to be able to continue developing and expanding the idea that you talk about in the headline, giving a more of a practical explanation, if I may add. Then you have the call to action, that preferably you want to have one call to action, one little button, because it has been proven to work the best. And this needs to be written in an imperative voice, like sign up, contact, you know? And then you have the hero image or video. This needs to be a very descriptive image, GIF or video of what your product or service does. Don't just put a nice image because it's nice. Try also adding information and value there. Then there's a plus element you can use on your ATF section, which is the majestic, the beautiful social proof. The human being is a creature that seeks for approval, you know, to feel safe. So including social proof to your landing page will make your conversions go up. This has been proven, all right? Just because it will seem more reliable to new visitors. All right, having people already saying good things about your tool is very important to new commerce. What you can do is sneak social proof into the above default section to cause better first impression. All right, so social proof can come in many shapes and forms. For example, customer testimonials. That's the typical one. Logos of the brands you work with, or your social media following if it's large enough. But there's many ways of doing uh, social proof. So any of these elements will have a direct impact on your conversion rate if tested. So it's important to get them right? It'll be super helpful to understand a bit more about the behavior of your traffic and what seems to work better on them. So this is all the content that I have for you today. To sum up, what's conversion rate optimization, website conversion rate optimization about? First, optimizing your site speed. Then learn how to speak to your target audience. Analyze how the traffic behaves on your site. And the most important of them all, never stop testing. Because again, what do you know, like why you think something would work or not? The only one that it's able to say if something works is the user. So you gotta test everything. Every idea you get could be the potential thing that skyrockets your business. So never stops testing. This has been all, and I hope this knowledge I shared with you today was able to move some pieces on your brain and give you some ideas on how you can improve your sales funnel. And thanks to you all for listening, Udit for the time, and I'll be open to some questions now.
Awesome. I think, Franco, while we let people ask questions, they're going to drop in. Why don't we go ahead and start looking and start diving into A/B testing itself?
Sure, why not?
And guys, again, drop in your question. Remember, the best question is going to win one free code of A/B testing. So make sure that you drop in your question in the comment below.
Sure. So I'm gonna share my screen again. There you go. You should be able to see our homepage here. Drop a thumbs up if you're looking at the at my page here. So I know if I can start. Okay, I'm gonna start anyways. A/B testing AI. Again, what we want to do here is to make the A/B testing nice. Did I see them? Nice. Nathan, Matasan, Udit, Nick, great. Well, again, you know that Data Nice run an interesting investigation a few years ago, and found that only 0.3% of all companies around the world are doing A/B testing. And verified market research said that this is because most companies find it very difficult to implement to their usual marketing strategy. So what we wanted to do with this tool is to make the A/B testing process something super easy, super fast, super efficient, and as autonomous as possible. That's why we added AI to the A/B testing process, basically. So let me log in. And yeah, I'm gonna test this page here, which is a template right from WordPress, nothing special on it. The site speed should be better, but besides that, as you can see, you have a headline, a copy, a call to action, some of your images, nothing special, a very usual and traditional landing page here. So we want to make the A/B testing process something very easy. So that's why we only have 4 steps for the integration, and the setup can be completed in less than 10 minutes. We have a free trial if you want to try it out. as we do the setup together. I'm gonna be giving some tips and tricks for it. But yeah, the first step is just putting the URL to test. Now the tool is going to your site. Here I'm here on the left side. The tool is going to your site. Okay, the bot is going to your site and is fetching all the main elements for you, being this the headline, the copy, the call to action, and the hero images. So it will fetch them for you, and it will run them through GPT-3, which is like the most powerful AI when it comes to text, human-like text understanding and suggestions. And it will understand what the text is about, and will get you some text suggestions you can start trying out, all right, for the test. All right, here are the text suggestions for all the elements, for the copy, the headline, the call to action, and the hero images, all right? And you can edit them to your liking. You can erase them if you don't like them, add your own from scratch. I'm gonna put some gibberish there. And yeah, you can see how they look more or less on your site once the integration has been done and the test is running. The same goes for the copy here. As you can see, you have all these tests created by the AI. You can also delete them, add your own, and also edit the ones you have here if you like parts of the text that have been generated for you. Then on the contact buttons, you have alternatives, colors you might try. For example, I want to go with a yellow here, and you can see how it will look. It needs to load, but yeah. And also for the alternatives in text, you have also the suggestions, which you can also edit to your liking. Nothing special here. And then for the images, we do not have suggestions. It's something we are working on, but we have a usual drag and drop, so you can drag some files. And also you have an image bank. For example, this page is about a Python course. So I want to have this image, for example, on my site, which is a high quality image about a Python book. The same for the other images. But let's say, for example, that, yeah, we want to test all these things, but we want also to test, let's say, this headline here, all right? Because we understand this is a very crucial headline for what we are offering. You can go here, click on fetch more elements, and you'll have a visual selector for you that will open up to test any element on the site. You just gotta click on it and fetch it, and that'll be it. It will bring it back here and will give you some suggestions. We're not gonna do it because it takes some time to fetch it. But yeah, so this step would be to define all the variations like that, and you can, as I said, select any element to test on this site by just clicking on fetch more elements. This will be the second step, and when you are happy with all the suggestions, you just click on next. And now the tool, what it's doing is fetching your conversion event automatically, all right? So it'll smartly go again to your site and will identify, okay, so what does this landing page has as the conversion event? What's the goal of this landing page? In this case, it will go to this button, we'll click on it, and we'll understand that what we are really trying to get here on this landing page is as many forms filled as possible. So our conversion event would be form fields, all right? So the tool went to our site and smartly detected the contact form, as you can see, for us. So every time a user fills and sends this form, it will count as a conversion for us. All right, but let's say that we want to do the conversion rate differently. We have the Google Analytics integration that basically lets you select any of your custom conversion events to test, right? So you can get any of them as the conversion event of your test, which is very, very helpful. Also, then you have the target URL, which is very popular amongst the e-commerce guys, which is just putting a URL which, when a user gets to that URL from the experiment, will count as a conversion. For example, a thank you page. For example, you're testing a product page. Once a user gets to the thank you page, so it purchased the product, you count that as a conversion. So you know that he or she purchased the product for you, right? And then you have the manual conversion event, which is just a very precise way of doing it, but it's by coding. We do not recommend this if you're not very good with code. And I think you're more than good to go with these three. We're going to go with the smart detection one because it's exactly what we want, more form fields. And now it's creating the experiment because we told him we want to test this specific page with these specific variations, this conversion event, and now it's creating the experiment for us. It's important to note here that we do not require people to do or to give us or create different landing pages or different URL for the test, right? We do all the changes using JavaScript on top of the original design. That's pretty dope, and we are really proud of that. So you don't need to create different landing pages, design anything. We take care of everything. You just gotta create the variations, select the conversion event, and sit back and relax. That's basically our approach to A/B testing. And as you can see, the things that really take time are the loading screens. You see that it's pretty simple to do the integration and to do the setup. And the last step of the integration would be just to get the usual snippet to the head tag of your page, right? We have a WordPress plugin for it. And then we have a step-by-step for all the other main builders. But yeah, you just gotta get this code to the right place, which is the head tag of the page you're testing, right? In this case, we do have a WordPress plugin already installed on this page, all right? And you just gotta install it and activate it, and that's it. And you just, when you have it integrated, you just verify it, and now the tool will check the integration, and the test will start as soon as integration has been confirmed. We use a multi-bandit testing approach, which is a very different way of doing A/B testing. In our opinion, a more smart and efficient way of doing A/B testing. More so for, there you go, hooray, we have our test running. As I was saying, multi-bandit testing is a smarter way of doing A/B testing, more so for businesses with low traffic count, because you have two main benefits with multi-bandit testing, which are, first, you don't lose conversions while testing. And the second one, you need less traffic to reach statistical significance. So getting a result is easier with multi-bandit testing. And what it means is basically that the AI is capable of quickly understanding which variations work better than the others, all right? And it will drive the traffic dynamically between variations while testing. So it will get more traffic to the variations that are working good and less traffic to the underperformers. And this way you're not losing traffic, not losing conversions while testing, and also getting faster results. As you can see, it has created the first experiment, all right, which are 5 variations plus the original. All of these variations have one change each. This one changed the headline. This one, the hero image on the background, as you can see. This is the call to action. There you have the copy has changed. Here again, the copy changed, and then you have the original design. We use something called evolutionary algorithm, which means that we like to go from batches, all right? And every batch will be created automatically based on the results of the previous batch. So every batch will get to a statistically significant result, and it will start a new experiment for you based on that result, and we'll start combining all the elements to create new variations and test against the winner from the previous experiment. And this process will be repeated as many times as possible, as many times as variations possible there are to test, right? So the idea on the objective of this tool is to get like the best combination of them all, right? And again, I repeat it, it's an automatic process. You just select the variation, the conversion event, and let it run and forget about it, because that's the philosophy we have with A/B testing. It needs to be something that is running on the back and doesn't require time or experience or resources to run. It's something that needs to be automatic and always running, always testing. That's the only way you can get the best conversion rate every time. So if you have the integration correctly, you'll see this little button here that says see live, and you'll be able to see the variation as if you were a user, all right? For example, we're gonna see the one with the image, which is the most common one to see and most easy one to see. Here the contrast is poor, it's very bad, but you can see how the variation would look like as if you were a user, which is pretty neat. Um, and here you can see a little preview of all the pages, right? Then the last thing I wanted to talk about, here you can pause and run the experiment. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, here you can edit for both variations and conversion goals. You can reset the experiment and also delete the web page if you want to test again and start from scratch. But I wanted to give you a tip if you manage websites with little traffic count, right? If you go up here and go to settings, you'll see all your website listed here. And if you click here, you can play around with the confidence level and the limit for the experiment in terms of days. If you lower the confidence level, you'll get faster results, but also not so trustworthy. All right. So you gotta understand where's your threshold in terms of how confident I want my results to be and how much traffic do I manage. And then the max days for running an experiment is pretty straightforward. If you put it on 14 days, this means that every batch has a limit of 14 days to complete. If it doesn't complete in the 14 days limit period you put, it will end automatically and will start a new batch with the winner it has for that moment specifically. And yeah, that's basically it. Here you'll have all your website listed. Here you can, if you have more than one website, you'll have them all here. And you have more than one page, you can also see it here. All right. That's it. That's how the tool works. I hope you liked it. Udit, are
Awesome.
you around there?
I think it's really in depth. So there are a lot of questions coming in already, Franco. But
Sure.
before we dive in, right? Why should someone even like do split testing? Like, because many a times we just don't see that as an importance. We just don't test enough. So before we dive in, and I want to start getting into the more technical aspects of the webinar today, can you help me answer that?
Sure. So sorry, I'm pouring some water. So testing is crucial. Again, why you wouldn't want to do it? Because again, it's with the traditional tools, it's a very challenging thing to do. All right. We running our business, we have a lot of things to do. And I understand that testing could be too much to handle, having all the other things to do previous to that. All right. But you need to understand that A/B testing and testing itself is something crucial to have a successful business.
Right.
And yeah, I understand that the fear of testing is not having the experience or enough time to do it. So that's why we created A/B testing AI.
Brilliant. Before we dive into all the question, let me just quickly share with all of you. So I'm gonna take your screen and I'm just gonna take over it. So guys, currently we are running a lifetime deal. As you guys know that the first webinar is always a product webinar. We are currently running a lifetime deal for A/B testing right now. You can literally grab the tool for $59. Similar tools and some of the top tools similar to this. I think one of the most top-rated tool in the world right now is Optimize, which is going to cost you probably around, I think it starts at like $2,500 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
you don't
price
even
is
have the
not even
price on
mentioned.
there.
Yeah, so that means your minimum bill is going to be $2,500 per month. That's $30,000, right? Again, these guys have built a fantastic product. These guys have built something incredible, and you can literally like, grab it at a $59 price point. Because again, they're starting out, incredible product. They have spent several years building behind it before going live. I would tell you take advantage of it if you're running WooCommerce, if you're running a Shopify site, if you are running any sort of agency. This is an absolute must. Even if you're running a website, if you're running your landing pages, I think it's an absolute must because you cannot create 10 different landing pages and try to send across your traffic across 10 different landing pages. That would mean creating what 10 different ad copies. How are you going to split test with that? So it's impossible, and this is why testing tools are so very important. You can drastically improve your conversions by just changing a little thing. which the whole time you did not think that's possible. So take advantage of that. I'm going to drop in the link in the comment, or you can just head to PitchGround as well. You can go on the deal section, and once you are in the deals page, just go on the search. You can just type A/B testing over here, and right away you're going to get it. Just click on it. Again, grab at least one code. It's an absolute no-brainer. Like $59. Honestly, if you're getting even decent traffic right now, you should make your money back in probably like a couple of days of just testing it. And if you find a winner, the tool works for you at that point. So sometimes even just changing slight bit of the things can make a massive difference. So take advantage of that. Like I said, we tested this, right? We swapped the color. It worked out brilliantly. So just keep on testing various stuff. It will work out brilliantly. It will start giving you some answers that you have been wondering and waiting for. So instead of assuming, trust the data, because ultimately data trusting is the most important thing you can do as a digital marketer, or even if you're running an agency. So let's dive into some of the questions that people are asking. And again, guys, if anyone wants to like switch on the camera and ask a question directly to Franco or me, you can just raise your hand, just use the reaction button and just raise your hand, and we'll be more than happy to have you and just interact with you guys. So to get started with, I think there's that first question coming in from Blue.
Blue.
Blue is asking, what is the minimum amount of visitors needed for the process to work? I haven't even launched my website yet. Once I have launched, do I need to wait until I have a number of regular users on an average page to be able to get valuable insights and take actionable insights based on the A/B split testing?
So Blue, that's a very, very good question. And the answer, it's a bit difficult for me because as I said, we use multi bandit testing, which is capable of really of being super efficient with the traffic you run through it, right? So it really depends on both the conversion rate you have and yeah, the variations you're running. So we have the usual amount of unique visitors you need to complete a test with us is around 2,000 unique visitors. All right. But again, multi bandit, it's pretty wild. When we have seen also test reach statistical significance with 400 unique visitors. It really depends on the conversion rate and the difference between the variations. Because if you have a variation with 15% conversion rate and all the others are in 2% conversion rate, multi bandit is super fast to say, okay, it won't be necessary to keep running this test. The statistically significant winner for this one is the one with 15% conversion rate, because the difference between variations is like a lot. So around 2,000 unique visitors is what we're comfortable saying, but again, it really depends.
Perfect. But what I would say is start testing. You never know that
It doesn't, yeah.
even if you have the slightest of the data coming in, right? You don't have to again make the decision right away. You can let the testing running on, and then after a month or 2 months, once you've collected more data, you can always take a decision, right? So Blue, again, so small data when collected over a period of 3 months, 6 months, right? That again will help you decide, because you will clearly have that, hey, this works, this doesn't work, this works, this doesn't work. And on the basis of that, then you can take a decision. So ultimately, you are in a complete control when you want to switch over, when you see that this is working. So let's move on to the next question. Does it work? Is it multilingual? Does it work with like French, Spanish,
Yeah.
German, and other languages?
So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So the best language it works is with English, but again, GPT-3 has been trained to work on every language. And understand and also write on every language. And this includes coding. If you look around YouTube about GPT-3, you'll see people telling to GPT-3, okay, please make me a form with a red button and true and a place to put my name. And the tools and the AI is capable of doing that, So it's super smart, and it does work with all languages. We have clients from all the world, from France, from Japan, from Malaysia. So it does work.
Awesome. I'm gonna move on to the next question.
Nathan has a question
Yeah,
related
I think
to.
before that, I think Paul is raising his hand. Paul, why don't
Yeah.
you like unmute yourself and switch on your camera and go ahead and ask your question?
Sorry,
Uh,
No problem.
can you
yeah,
hear
yeah,
me now?
we can hear you, Paul.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether when you're uploading images to test, do you use source set for the optimized and responsive images?
We
So
use what?
obviously,
Sorry.
SRC set, because the images need to be responsive on mobile.
Yeah.
So if you
So
upload a high-res image, you obviously need it to be optimized and responsive.
yeah, we do recommend compressing the image before uploading it. Again, talking about site speed, that's important. But yeah, we do everything on our control to make that image responsive and to make that image not break the site in any form. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So there's one question coming in. Does it affects the SEO by any chance?
No, there's an article that talks about, is from Google itself, that talks about how to do testing with SEO to not affect it. And when we created the tool and we developed the tool, we were very, very picky, trying to make it so it doesn't really affect SEO in any way, because we understand how important SEO is. So yeah, it does not affect SEO.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question. The next question is from Benedict. He's asking, what can be set as a conversion rate? Can I compare scroll depth versus time?
Uh, Sorry, where is it? I didn't understand.
Yeah. So basically, the question is like, can we compare how much someone is scrolling and how much time someone is spending? Can we also test on that?
If you do the integration with analytics on our dashboard, no, you only can measure conversion rate, like specific actions. But if you do the connection with Google Analytics, you also get a what's called a custom dimension there, and there you can see all the variations as pages on your site, and you can measure anything on your Google Analytics for all the variations running on your test. So there you can play around with any metric that Google Analytics offers for you.
Awesome. The next question is from Vikas. He's asking, does intelligent pop-up help in improving CRO or just interrupt the customer experience? I think it's very conflicted issue.
Like having a pop-up, like
I think it's more of a generic question. I think like does having any sort of pop-up like affects the CRO? I would say no, because if
testing.
you have, like personally, we have a pop-up at PitchGround. It works like a charm, right? Because the thing is, you have to ensure that your pop-up needs to deliver value. Your value can be in the form of content, it can be in the form of like discount codes, it can be in the form of anything. It needs to add a value. If you're just going to throw a random pop-up saying, hey, talk to me, no one is interested, and people are going to just press the button, right? Because they are not interested in talking to you. So provide value and find your core value proposition, that what's going to make people give their email, or what's going to make people take action, right?
Yep.
That is where you improve your CRO. So definitely it works, but provided always make sure that your pop-ups are exit intent. Anything else, I would personally not like it, because you are at that stage making one final attempt to get the visitor back when they are leaving the website, so you're not interrupting their experience. So these couple of things are very critical, but more than that, again, make sure your pop-up has got value. It has a ton of value behind it. So moving on to the next question, it's from Day. D is asking, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. How to explain position CRO to clients, because most clients ignore this. I think this is very good question.
That's a great question. That's a great question. You gotta be very visual with customers, with clients, because again, the one that is expert is you. So you gotta be very visual and give some examples on on very simple things. Like try to simplify it. So, for example, or maybe you could talk about what they care the most, which is money, obviously. So let's say you can explain to them, You are spending all this money on sending traffic to your site, but you're not getting the most of it on your website. All right, and try to get a very plain example of that situation going on in real life. That would be to very visual with your clients. What do you think, you did? What do you think, Judith?
What I would say is that get A/B testing, right? And just tell your customer, look, let me run the test for a month, right? And then you pay me after that. When you're running an agency, you need to show that data, because once you show that data, right, this is what can happen. Look, it helped to take this decision. You can make a ton of money later on. So that should be your strategies. The thing with A/B with any sort of testing or CRO is many of the clients like they say, like they ignore because they don't know about it. And this is where, if you're running an agency, this is your job and responsibility to educate them. So what I would recommend is there are a couple of things that you can do. First, set up a small course around conversions. And when you're onboarding any customer, just ask them, hey, go through this. You would understand how we can sort of improve the overall conversions of the website, and give out some basic pointers. Now, in one of those, make sure that you also include a case study of what a CRO optimization, when you optimize the entire website, what it can do, even the smallest of the chains, right? All you need is one case study. You don't need two, you don't need three, you just need one case study to show that. Now tell them that, hey, let me improve the conversion, right? We'll test the data, and then we'll use the data that's converting better. Let me just do it 1 month for free. Now, again, when you're using A/B testing, you are on lifetime deal, so you don't have to worry about paying monthly. So that's one thing that you get advantage of right away. And when you do that, right away after a month, you can tell them, look, see, I told you I was right. This is performing way better, right? Now, this got you an extra 3% or 4% conversion. You are doing $100,000 a month. You did $3,000 extra because of this small change, right? Now, this is the kind of value that I add. Now, that $3,000 is $36,000 extra that you're making throughout the year. And now, because of that, there's a chance that one or two customers, if you're having a repeat customer rate of, let's say, even 10%, that is an extra $3,600 on top of that. So right away, you have helped them make $39,600 extra without adding anything. And that's when you charge 10 to 20% of that value. That's how you do it. Again, it's a very visual thing. So 1 month, let it run for free, right? Show the conversions, because best part is that you are in control, because the dashboard is going to be in your control. You will have the data control. All you have to do is just send the screenshot. That's all you have to do. Now, this is where, again, this is where you can really shine. So this is how you can implement this strategy, right? And you can start making a ton of money using CRO. Next question from him is, how do I explain to client the CRO should be continuous thing we should implement? Again, that's what I said. Once they see data, they will never stop, right? This is that one visual thing. It's kind of like SEO, right? Where people today in the modern world, they don't want to spend on SEO because they feel that SEO is going to take a year or 2 years, but they don't realize that you cannot just keep paying money on performance marketing all the time and just keep on making sales. That's just not feasible for any business to survive in general, unless until you just keep on raising capital. You have to do SEO because you need that organic flow of traffic coming in and people purchasing on that. People who understands that and usually understand data very well and marketing very well. And this is where, like, this is the same case. People need to see data before they make any decisions. So this is what you have to do. You have to show the data. As long as you're showing the data, you are going to convert better at that point of stage.
Exactly. Great explanation, you did. Thanks for that.
Awesome. Blue is saying thanks. Thanks for the masterclass, by the way. Thanks for organizing. I learned a lot. It's so clearly delivered. Thank you so much, Blue. I'm so glad that you're finding value. If you guys are finding value so far, just drop in a fire emoji so that we would know. And there would be some giveaway at the same time. So let's see, like, if you guys are enjoying this webinar so far. Patrick is saying you're leaving the money on the table if you do not split this. I think that's a good one. I think
Yeah,
Franco, we should probably like make that as a tagline that use A/B testing,
stop
or else
leaving,
you're losing money on the table.
stop leaving money on the table. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. The next question is, can the conversion goal be that customer clicks on a button to leave the website, like clicking on a button with affiliate link?
Yeah, you can count clicks on a button as a conversion rate, as a conversion event. Sorry. Again, if the tool is not able to automatically fetch that for you, you can also use the analytics connection to do that.
Awesome. Next question is from Paul. He's asking, is A/B testing GDPR compliant? If you place cookies in in the Europe, we would need to have the user's consent before the cookie is placed.
Yes, is GDPR compliant, and I'm gonna search for the
So
for
Paul,
the
if you're using Google Analytics, right, you're doing the same thing. It's just like that, right? It's like
exactly.
using any other software that you
So
need to take their consent. So when they hit the accept button, that's when it's going to get triggered. So my recommendation is anytime you use any sort of JavaScript, just use Google Tag Manager, throw up all of your tags, all of your JavaScript tags on Google Tag Manager, and just use Google Tag Manager because the user accepts that, it triggers all of the cookies and all of the codes
exactly.
from there. So Franco
There
has
you have
already
the
shared the link in the comment for all of you guys. You guys can check it out. So Sujit is saying recently France banned Google Analytics. How to go with that?
sorry, what again?
Recently France banned Google Analytics. How to go with that?
Okay, so our tool should keep going. You don't need you just don't use the analytics connection, but we can measure things our side, our way.
So I hope that answers your question. So if you have any follow-up questions, too, let me know. Let me just scroll up. Age is asking which statistical approach to use to run A/B testing.
Multi-term bandit testing. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share with you an article, a great article that I love it about multi-term bandit testing. That talks about all the specific on how this statistical approach works. So there you can really dig into the theme. What example of clickbaits would you suggest I use? Here Titus says, what example of clickbaits would you suggest I use in my online casino gambling landing page, gaming landing page? Will the variations all be live to the visitors? So what I would suggest, I do not have on top of my mind which text for your buttons you should use. But again, we have a very powerful AI. You can try it out that will give you some suggestions very quickly. And they will be, so when a user enters your site while you're testing and gets a specific variations, let's say that they get variation 1 out of 5, it doesn't matter how many times they get out your site and enters again, it will always see the same variation. So you don't confuse the user. So every user will be attached to one specific variation.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question. Uh, I'm going to move to the next question. Miguel is asking, can we do funnel testing? Definitely, Miguel, you can do that. You can run all sorts of tests at every single stage of the funnel.
Yep.
Moving on to the next question. Okay, it's from Benedict. Um, how does it compare with Google Optimize? Is there a way to get numbers from A/B testing into analytics and data studio? Are there any use cases for API?
We do have an API, but that's for the business plan. All right. The deal is going for the starter and professional plan. Then the business plan is a whole other story. And about the how it compares to Google Optimize, we like to see A/B testing AI as a more user-friendly interface and also more focused on AI. I've written an article about that specifically that I'm gonna share with you. But basically, if you have the time and the knowledge needed to use Google Optimize, that's a good way of going, because you have more freedom in terms of what you want to test. But again, what we do offer is efficiency and and being autonomous. All right, and what is constant testing? That's something that Google Optimize does not have. But what does Google Optimize have over us? They have different types of testing. We only offer arm-banded, multivariate testing. They have split testing and other ways of testing. So they have more freedom in terms of what you can do, but also you need to have the time and the knowledge to use them properly.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question, Benedict. Um, can you please give useful examples for the hero title?
I can give you how it really depends on on what you're working on, right? What's your offering, but I can give you like what you should put on that hero title, what type of content you need to. It's all about value, about being very specific about what you're saying. All right, specific, giving value, differentiate the theory. How's the word? Uh, telling the user why are you different from the competitors and why they have to choose you. All right, it's about that.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question. Paul is asking, will the plan on PitchGround have the team sharing feature? How can the data be shared with clients if A/B testing as a service?
Okay, so the team feature is also available only for business plans and enterprise plans only. But if we have already seen some users ask for it, so we are thinking about maybe getting it as an add-on, right? Like a team feature access as an add-on, because we understand how important it is for teams and to share it for clients if you don't want to do the typical screenshot.
Awesome, awesome. I hope that helps, Paul. Our next question is, what example of clickbaits would you suggest I use in my online casino gaming landing page?
We
Will
already
the variations all be live to the visitors? I think this is where the AI sort of like really comes in handy, because all you have to do is just press a button and it will generate those clickbait titles
exactly.
for you. This is where things are very handy. This is how you use A/B testing, because it not only just does a test, but it also creates variations for you so that you don't have to do all the legwork yourself. Okay, next question is, how far can I go when integrating on Google Analytics with a landing page? Do I take advantage of all behaviors?
You're talking about the integration with our app. So in terms of how many events you can measure at the same time, you can only measure one event for the test. But if we are talking about how to leverage Google Analytics itself on your site, I would really recommend going into YouTube and searching for some tutorials there. There are some pretty great metrics. There's one that I really like, which is able to very visually tell you how the customer journey of the site is, where you are getting the most traffic at, and how they are pouring into all the other pages on your site, and where you are getting all the bounce rate on, so you can understand and identify where to do all the changes to make it like more traffic into the end or the bottom line of your funnel.
Awesome, awesome. So I hope that answers your question, Regis. So I think we've pretty much covered most of the questions. Let me just quickly check if I missed out on any. Okay, Franco, according to you, which was the best question of the day?
Let me look at them. There was a very good one, if I remember correctly. I like the approach of Day, the one about how
Day.
to explain it to how to explain it
Yeah, so
to
Day,
your clients.
congratulations. You have one code of A/B testing. All you have to do is just reach out to me on udit@pitchground.com. with your email, with your PitchGround email, and just DM me right now. At the same time, I've DM'd you. So I have written a small code for you. This way, like no one else messages me or emails me under your name.
People are smart, are very quick with that.
Yeah, just include this code. No, sorry, it was. Wait, I sent it to someone else. Okay. So Dave, I've just sent you a code. Just send out an email to me, and we'll get this added to your PitchGround account. Just make sure that you have your account registered at PitchGround with that email. And within 24 hours, we'll get one giveaway code added to your account. Blue is asking, is audience segmentation still on the cards for Q4 of this year?
Please go again. I didn't understand.
Is audience segmentation still on the cards for Q4 of this year?
So audience segmentation is on the roadmap, right? It's something we wanna dig into on this year, right? It's not something you can play around right now with, but we understand how valuable that could be in terms of really testing and putting your website into test.
Got it. So I think we have pretty much covered majority of the questions. Yeah, I think guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's webinar. We're going to be coming back with Franco with more use cases, with more case studies, and a lot more crazy stuff. Again, we're just getting started. There's going to be a lot of webinars coming up around A/B testing at the same time. So make sure that you guys tune in. And again, if you guys have enjoyed today, do not miss out on A/B testing. This is one software. Do not miss out. Again, we're not going to push you guys and throw some crazy discounts to make you guys buy. Now, take your time. We understand that businesses are going through challenges right now, especially with COVID. There's a lot of things happening in the world at the moment. We don't want to push you guys at any point of stage, but we want to make sure that you find a lot of value in the webinar, a lot of value in the product, and only then you are making your purchase, because again, this is very, very, very critical. Apart from that, we're going to be coming back tomorrow with yet another webinar. So let me just quickly share that with you guys. All you got to do is just head to lu.ma/pitchground, and you will see that all of the crazy webinars that are happening over here. Just click on view all. We'll keep on adding all of the upcoming webinars over here. You can just click register over there, and within next 48 hours, you will see the replay of this. So if any one of you wants to go back, check on the webinar again, and then make a decision, share it with your team. Again, take time. There is absolutely no rush at the same time. So let me just quickly share the link with you guys here. And once again, if you are looking for A/B testing as well, here is a link for you guys. You guys can just click on it and go and grab it right now. It's just literally $59. And if you are, by the way, if you need discounts, then you can become a PGVIP member, and right away you get 10% discount on every single purchase that you make. So take advantage of that. Once again, you can get the discounts for yourself. You'll pretty much be needing about 4 to 5 softwares, a good 4 to 5 softwares every year. You'll pretty much end up saving a lot more if you get the PGVIP. Take advantage of this. If you still have any questions, just head to the A/B testing page, and you can head to the discussion section, and you can just drop in your questions over here. Or Franco, if you can just drop in your email address as well, if anyone wants to connect with you directly, they can just send out and reach out to you, because many times people are like a little shy to speak in public, but they want to like discuss with you one-on-one on with your team. So people can just reach out to you then.
Okay, sounds great. I'm gonna, one sec. There you go.
Okay,
That's
guys, so
email.
it's franco@abtesting.ai. The email is over there. Again, if you guys want to reach out to me personally, I've dropped in my email as well. I am very responsive with emails, especially for our customers and clients. That is my top of the topmost priority. So reach out to me at any point of stage over the email. I'm more than happy to help you guys. If you guys even want to get on a call, one-to-one call, just to understand things a bit more on your use cases, feel free to do it. I'm more than happy to get on a call with you guys. If you want Franco, again, we are happy to support you guys in every possible way, so that when you make your purchase, regardless whether it's $59 or $500, right, We're here to support you guys. We're here to help you guys out. So all we ask for is you go and test it out. So, but I hope you guys have enjoyed today's webinar. With that, we're going to be wrapping up. Before we do that, Franco, any last lines for anyone that you want to say? Any closing lines for everyone?
It's the line I like to close everything with, which is never stop testing. Please do
I
not
love
do
that.
it. Never do it.
Love that. I think you should probably add this line, that never stop testing, or else you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
So
formula.
guys, never stop testing, keep testing out, and guys, again, keep making money, right? With that, we're going to be wrapping up this session. We're going to be coming back again tomorrow with yet another power pack session, because tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot about web analytics. And I think hopefully then the A/B testing, and along with that, the web analytics, there's going to be some great fireworks combined, both of them. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. It's Monday, charged up, go ahead and start making money, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.